Thank you, Deidre. And thanks to all of you for our in-person audience and those of you watching online, and most of all, mahalo ka'ihi for joining us. So I think most of you know Yakamashii is a Japanese word, but it is also used often by pidgin speakers. So if you grew up here in Hawaii, even if you're not of Japanese ancestry or ethnicity, chances are you know what the word means or what you think it means. So it translates to noisy or boisterous, talkative. But a lot of folks, and even my local Haole guests, said, "Oh yeah, I know Yakamashii means shut up," or pipe down, quiet down, because we heard it so often from our parents, our teachers, our aunties and uncles when we're having a little too much fun, and we would hear them yell from Yakamashii, settle down. So my first question to you, because I know you came from a large family.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you hear the word Yakamashii a lot
Yes.
growing up? Yeah.
Yes, because there was 11 of us.
Oh,
And so we had a 3-bedroom home where I remember growing up in Wailuku on Keele Street, and there was the girls' room, the parents' room, where the youngins stayed with the parents, and then the boys' room.
wow. Where in the 11 do you fall in order?
11.
Oh, you're
I'm the baby.
baby.
6 brothers and 4 sisters.
Do you grew up in Wailuku?
I grew up in Wailuku, but I also grew up in Kihei.
Oh, you folks lived in Kihei, or you had
Well,
relatives?
when my parents first moved here in the 50s, in the late 50s, they resided in Kihei. That's where they began their new life. My parents are originally from Oko'okeawe, from the Big Island. My father's a Hilo boy, born and raised in Waipio Valley. And my mom is a country mouse, born and raised in Kamuela or Waimea on the Big Island. And so I lived in Wailuku, grew up in Wailuku, or I should say, when I was born, we lived in Pukalani. Then we moved to Kahului. Then we moved to Wailuku, and that's what I most remember. That's where my stomping grounds and my roots are. And then, but I danced since the age of 3. My kumuhula lived in Kihei. So I spent much of my life, part of it in Kihei and part of it in Wailuku.
Who was your kumu?
My first kumu was Auntie Vivian Madaris, but I then danced for Uncle George Naope's, two of his students, Tisa Kalili and Nona Koluhi Onalani, who Koripua Pata is a po'okumu. He inherited her halal.
Oh, I just got chicken skin. So you're Eleneki.
I am an Eleneki, yes.
Yeah, so I know one of your brothers was my classmate at Baldwin, Timmy.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you to tell a few of your favorite stories from growing up. So I was an only child. I have no idea what it's like to grow up with 10 siblings. I can imagine, but as the youngest, was it a wonderful experience? Was it overwhelming?
It was never overwhelming. It was certainly a wonderful experience because my siblings were my mentors, but they were also my role models. So I learned early on what to do and what not to do by their examples. And so one of my fondest memories is if we didn't come home before sundown, we had to line up on these little steps that led up to the main doorway of our home in Wailuku town. And actually our home that we grew up in just got broken down. It's right after the David Trask building, the second house right after that.
Oh.
So we grew up climbing trees with a big lychee tree in the front, avocado tree in the back. Then we would help our next door neighbor, Miss Aggie, clean her yard, and she had beautiful mango trees that we could climb and play in. And because it was just her, so we grew up a lot there, but we had to line up. So we lined up from the eldest to the youngest, and by then it was just the 4 of us youngest. that were accounted for. Everyone else were adults. And so if we got spankings or discipline, by the time it came to me, either the spoon broke or bent or the broom broke. And so it was done just getting at home and go and take a shower and get ready for supper.
So it sounds like, like when you came home late, it wasn't just one of you or two. You folks traveled in a pack.
We had to. We had to. Even if they went out, for example, my brothers, we used to go to the rubbish dump a lot. We loved going to the rubbish dump because that was treasure hunting.
Yeah.
So we would go to the Waikapu rubbish dump with Dad, and we would treasure hunt. And my brothers and I would look for parts of bikes and would put it together. And then they would put it together and build bikes. So they would have to pack me. So they made a big basket. My brother Creighton was very, very handy and creative in things. So they always had to take me wherever they went, and they always had to make sure I came home with them, because if not, parents did not spare the rod for them. So they were accountable for me.
Was there anyone in particular that you were especially close to, or?
My older siblings are also like my parents. I grew up with my nieces and nephews. Before I was born, I already had 4 nephews and a niece. So I have a niece that is born the same year as me, months earlier. And I also have a niece that is born weeks after me. So there is 3 of us born in the same year.
Oh my.
So oldest sister, oldest brother's wife, and my mom.
Wow. How many years difference between you and your eldest sibling?
Between me and my eldest is, let me see, I believe it is 25.
Wow. Your mom, I tell you.
Yes, my mom.
That's off to her.
She's amazing.
My
goodness.
goodness.
Yes, because back in those days, only my father worked. My mom didn't work. She stayed home and reared the children.
She worked hard.
And she worked, yes. Yes, she did work. She did work, taking care of the home and taking care of the children. Yes.
The Wailuku at that time. So you lived right by the David Trask building. Did you folks go to the Wailuku library? Hang out?
Wailuku library, go visit the uncles at the police station, take a ride in the elevator, play at the county building because we could, go up to the 9th floor, go get candy from the mayor, come back down. We pretty much ran around all of Wailuku town.
Was it Mayor Carvalho at the time?
Yes. Yes. At the time, yes.
And he had an open door policy.
Open door policy. It was really wonderful growing up in Wailuku town. And then we would run over to Vineyard Street and we would go to the river and we would play what we called moss pond. So had all the moss on the side of the rocks at the side of the river, and we would slide with our shorts. Always make sure you have extra clothes, though. You have to change before you go home.
Oh, yeah.
And sneak your clothes to the washroom because you have to go and you got to go scrub on the washboard. Yes.
And back then, they had little fish. They had popeye in the stream.
Yes, crawfish. We'd go along Kaho'okele Street where the river was, where the DeWart family and the Lake family all lived, and we would go through the river to catch crawfish to take home. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Those were the great days.
And you had a lychee and avocado tree in your yard.
Abundance. Always. Yes.
So when you folks would go up to the 9th floor and Mayor Carvalho would give you candy, did you ever imagine in your wildest dreams that someday you would be so closely associated with the 9th floor?
Not at all. No. We never even foresaw it in our future as husband and wife with children. No.
So I'm going to jump way ahead now because this is one of the things I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
You have, well, we'll really get into your roles and how you see your kuleana as First Lady. But I'm curious, is it more challenging to be the wife of the mayor or of Chief Judge? or a prosecutor.
The mayor,
Yeah.
because our lives are more public now.
Mhm.
We could stay in the background when he was a prosecutor. We could stay in the background when he was the first deputy to the attorney general. We could stay in the background even as he was a chief judge. But as a mayor, our lives are very public.
Your entire family.
My entire family is exposed to the public.
What do you see as your most important responsibility as the first lady? Because we all know it's not just simply being the mayor's spouse. I mean, it carries a lot of weight with it.
I would have to say that it is really just being the ears and the heart for the people, just to be present and allow the people to be themselves and to be able to express themselves in any shape, size, or form. To be open to receive, no matter how it is presented. At times it's difficult, but most of the time, it's very rewarding.
You know, not too long ago, I had a conversation with someone who was just, because we were doing the play 7. No, it was after that. Anyway, this gentleman told me, that Mrs. Bissen, he happened to be August 8th, no, 9th, I guess, when they first opened up War Memorial as the evacuation center, and he was there. He's a county employee, and he was doing all he could. He works for parks, and he said, Mrs. Bissen comes up, and she's like, oh, she took charge. She made sure everything was getting in place, and he just could not look at one big lump of chicken skin. He just talked about how blown away he was. Number one, at your speed and your empathy, coming down there, wanting to be there to help, but also at how organized and confident you were in leadership. He said, everybody's like, don't know what to do. This never happened before. We all know we want to help, but nobody knows how. And she just came in and she was the general.
Oops.
No, not oops at all. But tell us about that day from your perspective.
When I arrived at War Memorial, I was trying to seek out who the head or who the leaders were, what the operations was like, and just trying to understand how we were serving our people. And when I got there, everyone would say, I'm not the boss, not me, I don't know who. I said, okay. So it took a moment to really walk around, to observe, to see the different services that were being provided. And then I just kind of finally said, okay, you look like you're doing the job of making sure that all of our volunteers who come in sign up and get vetted. So would you be okay? You can be the head. And who's helping you? Because that could be your co-chair. So you get whoever you need to help you with your co-chairs, because this is a 24/7 hour job. And these are just people in the community. They don't work for the county, they don't work for any government. They just wanted to help. Then, of course, finding out who our department county staff were, and saying, okay, so you're the go-to guys when we need stuff. We need the bathrooms, make sure that the bathrooms are properly cleaned, and everything is flowing smoothly. Doors are open, safety, showers, all these things. So once I knew what all the different areas were, and I appointed people. Wasn't my fault, because I think I know who you were talking to. Because I walked up and he goes, "Hey, you, speaking of you, come here, I need you," as he was talking to Dr. Liverday for our medical tent. He said, "You know, we need one head, we need one pole for the medical tent. Everybody doing their own thing." And I said, "Call the mayor's office." He goes, "No, you're the mayor's wife." So I actually called the office, and of course he's busy. He's in the emergency comms department, and so I speak to one of the representatives. She said, "What do you think?" I said, "Well, you know what? This is my grandson's pediatrician, and he's a really good doctor." I said, "We're gonna make him the head of the medical tent." She said, "Okay." So I hung up the phone. I said, "Okay, Dr. Jerry Liverday, you are now the head of the medical tent, and I just have one thing to say." He said, "Yes, this is not a Kaiser facility. This is now not a Maui Medical Group facility. This is a medical facility providing services for the people of the county of Maui who have been, because of the fire. That's what it's about. This is not about private industries or anything like that. It's about us providing a service to our people who need us now." So we put away all of those hats, the county and the state and private industries, and we put our best selves forward. We do give of ourselves and our talents and our hearts. That's what we do.
That's terrific. No, it's what in your previous professional life prepared you for something like that?
I cannot say that there is anything in my professional life. I have to say that it is life in itself. It is growing up and being the youngest child of Henry and Vivian Elenecki. It is learning how to swim by being thrown into the ocean and not holding on to the inner tube, diving down, whether you know there's sharks in there or not, to go gather and pull up that net, because that net is what is going to feed your family and feed your community, because that's what you do, you share. And so it is just life itself that helped to mold me, and every step and every career that I may have chosen, or every person I may have come across. That's what has shaped my life to who I am today and the person that I am.
What are some of your favorite moments of having been the First Lady? I mean, you're obviously afforded many amazing opportunities that most of us don't have.
Yes.
What were some of your favorite moments?
Oh gosh, there are so many. How do I count them? I think my most favorite moments is really just being able to be with the people. I mean, to see them in different elements. It has certainly opened up my eyes to the county of Maui, truly. We tend to live our lives, and I say that. We just live within our safe space. We forget that there are others beyond that safe space, beyond that point. And so what this has done is truly expanded my family. And I say that because it is so true. Whether it be walking at the harbor and offering someone a meal, or whether it be smiling to the person parked at the red light, waiting to cross over or to go through to our destination. It could be the travels and meeting just some amazing people from around the world. And, during that time of the evacuation center, I was just so very humbled at the people that came. That, I have to say, was the most awe-inspiring moment for me, as people came from all over the islands, from all over the United States, and they came from all over the world to volunteer, to give a helping hand, to go clean bathrooms, to help a kupuna make their bed, you know, or to serve them, or to help a family. They just gave unconditionally. And that's when I knew, no matter where we are in the world, we all are human and we all love people.
So we're all one.
Yes, one ohana, one big ohana. It doesn't have to be of the same biological, same koko, as long as we have that love and respect for one another.
And they say, yeah, tragedy has a way of bringing out the best in humanity. Often,
Yes,
we did see wonderful examples of that
yes,
with the wildfires. You mentioned travels. You got to go to the White House for a state dinner, which not a lot of county officials get to, even governors don't all get to attend a state dinner at the White House. But
yeah.
this was in honor of the Prime Minister
The
of
Prime Minister of
Japan.
Japan. Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, Mayor declined because when he was first asked, because he didn't want things to be misconstrued, and he wanted to make sure that the people knew that he was there for them and he cared.
That he wasn't going to go flying off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I told him it is so important because of that. Sorry, may I get a tissue? Because of that relationship that we have formed with our international people, especially with Japan,
Yeah.
and all that they've done for us since the tragedy. And so I was like, oh my God, what am I going to wear? What do you wear? It's like, I'm going to see the king of and the queen of the United States. In all honesty, I felt like a princess.
Oh, yeah.
It was, you know, an adult princess, but I really did feel like a princess. I mean, we got to see the stars, and the thing is, sorry, as you went along the sidewalk, as you were walking, you had these really handsome men in their military attire, and they address you, good evening, sir, good evening, madam, welcome, have a good evening, you know, enjoy your time. And let's be honest, home here is like, how's it, Shaka? Yeah. All right, sister. Hello, auntie. So you don't hear that, you know, from here. And they were just, and then you get to the gate of the entry of the White House and you're like, wow. They have the Marine, like some people from the orchestra up the stairway playing music. Oh my goodness. And you could hear the music with these tall vases of candles. And then you have someone at the door, a doorman opening the door for you. And as soon as you walk through that door and the hall, on the walls to the right, to the left are humongous portraits of the first ladies.
Oh, yeah.
That was very breathtaking to be able to see our first ladies' portraits as you walking down that hallway. And I thought, oh my God. Pinch, I told my husband, pinch me, because I can't believe that we're here. I can't believe that we are in the house that has housed so many of our presidents and first ladies who have been such a role model for each and every one of us. I just never thought in my wildest dream that I would be able to do that. And it just continued. The night just continued from there on.
Well, I had heard that, like you said, Mayor declined. So he didn't feel it was proper to
Yes.
go flying off
Yes.
to a big fancy
Yeah.
dinner at the White House. But that the pressure was put on him because it was the Prime Minister of
Yeah.
Japan, and because of the tremendous amount of support
Yes.
that Japan gave us, that they felt it's only appropriate for the mayor to come and express appreciation in person.
Yes.
And so I'm really glad that that mayor changed his mind and that you folks were able to go.
It was very much an honor, humbled and an honor to be able to be there and to meet the Prime Minister, to meet the Vice, to meet the President, to meet the First Lady, and all of our dignitaries, as well as, stars, and to see that beautiful portrait of Barack Obama. But they did such just beautiful, amazing work, and the men and women in their tuxedos and their gowns, and just this beautiful arrangements everywhere, adorning everything, and huge paper fans,
Oh,
and a wall just of paper fans as the backdrop
because of the
for the
Japanese.
dinner. Yes, yes. I mean, just real simple and elegant, and just
So I have to ask, who did you wear? You're
I wore Micah Kamohuali'i. He's from Kamuela.
Yeah, that's the
Hawaii. Yes,
oh, isn't he a cousin?
he is a cousin.
Of,
He is a
your
cousin
husband's, yeah.
on my husband's side, the Kukahiko family. Yes.
Yeah, because I remember they did a pop-up shop several years ago
Yes.
before Christmas, and I was going to Starbucks or someplace, and he wasn't the mayor yet, so I can say. So there's Rick Bissen. Hui, come, my cousin get this shop, come look. And I ended up spending way too much money. But beautiful stuff.
Oh no, very
And
beautiful.
he designs all of Amy Hanayabiki.
He does. And hers are all one of a kind.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Is yours one of a kind too?
It's not one of a kind. I'm just like everybody. I just go over there and I just
Off the rack.
off the rack, check to see what I like and what fits, and roll out.
Did you get to spend much time speaking with First Lady Jill Biden, either when she was here or that evening?
Actually, when they were here, I was under the weather. So while everything was happening over on the west side, I was home on the telephone. Okay, we need buses here. We have cars coming. You need to hold that bus. You need to make sure that people check in. So I was still working, so to speak, and behind the scenes.
Oh.
But I didn't have the honor. We didn't have a lot of time to spend with First Lady or with the Prime Minister's wife. Basically, it was just to say hello and to say thank you. And however, Mayor did have the opportunity to sit and speak with both President and Prime Minister prior to our dinner. So that was, yes.
So November 2022, when you could see that you were going to become the First Lady of Maui County, did it occur to you to do any research into what the First Lady does, not just the county, or did you look to examples of the nation's First Ladies, anything like that? Or did you just say, okay,
No,
whatever?
I had a fleeting moment of it. It just was fleeting. It came and it went out. However, my children sent me videos that they recommended, bought me books that they recommended I read, and things that I watched
about being
the First Lady.
Oh,
And I said, there is no manual, you folks. And being a First Lady of the United States of America is not necessarily the same as being the First Lady for the County of Maui. And, the prior First Ladies that came before me, their experiences and what they experienced was totally different than what I'm going through now. And I said, plus they are they, and I am I. And we just couldn't.
You just go from there.
I just went.
Have you had any conversations with either Joycelyn Victorino or Ann Arakawa, just in general about?
Just real simple talk, like, how do you folks do it? Your husbands were on call 24/7, and probably hardly saw them. I said, my hat's off to each and every one of you. They said, you just do it. And You know, it's going to be trialsome sometimes, but just remember who you are, where you come from, and everything will work out. So they were really kind. Even the mayors, you know, they said it's going to get tough, you know, sometimes. You're not going to see, smell your other half, but know what they are doing is for the people and not the people. And as long as you are healthy and the family is doing well, then we as the mayors are able to do and serve the people.
Do you folks ever talk shop at home?
No, you know, that's one thing I am so grateful for in all our relationships and through all of his career. He never brought work home.
Mm.
When he came home, it was just family
His
time.
dad and husband. Yeah.
Dad, husband, brother, son.
You don't ever take the opportunity to put bugs in his ear about what what you think should be done?
No, because he has the last say. Because I have to remember that he's the one that has to take the responsibility, not I. And so, I mean, he's done well so far throughout his life, and to being the man that he is, and the father and the husband. So obviously I have to trust him always. I trust him with my life. So
How did you folks meet? Oh, I think we got a good story.
oh my goodness, that is too funny. We met at the Miss Maui Scholarship Pageant one year.
Oh,
I was the backstage manager. He was the alternate MC. Our original MC could not make it. And so he stepped to the plate, and his sister was actually the head of the Miss Maui Scholarship Pageant at that time. And so we met through
oh,
that.
yeah. There you are.
Because yes, and then
Yeah.
my sister are good friends with his sisters as well, and went
So
to
what-
school with his sisters.
What year was this?
Oh gosh, what was that? 1991. I mean, 1992. 92. That's 1992.
This is where you met for the first
We
time.
met, yeah, at the what is now the Hagai Institute, when it was the hotel back then, and that's where the pageant was held. So we met then. Didn't even think.
Oh, I was
It
gonna say,
was
was it like
it-
instant
Oh no,
attraction?
no. It was a furthest from my mind.
Was he, what position did he hold at the time?
He was
wasn't a judge yet.
no, he
No.
was a prosecutor for the county of
County
Maui.
prosecutor.
Mhm. He was just a county not just. He was a lead county prosecutor for one of the divisions of the prosecuting office. Yes,
So, so you guys met, nothing,
we met.
what happened?
We met, and he continued to pursue me. I said, I'm not interested. I'm okay. Can I call you? I said, no. Can I come pick you up? I said, from work. I said, no. And this went on for like about a couple months. And then
Oh.
between my sister and his sister, I said, you know what? I gotta get this guy off my back. So I said, okay, you can come pick me up, but you're gonna take me straight home. And yeah. And
So how did he win you over? How did he change your mind?
well, you know what? I admired his voice because he sang. He would sing, you know, during the pageant time, but I just opened up myself and just allowed him to sing me. Go down to the beach and play ukulele, talk stories, get to know one another, and that was like our first date, and then eventually it just grew from there.
Oh,
Yes. Plus, each of us already had a child, and so so we have his, hers, and ours. We have a blended family, but it works beautifully. For us, there is just our daughters, our children, and they have grown up together.
And
as
how
such.
many now?
3 girls, so they are all like about almost 2 years apart, each of them, and they all just so happen to have the same initials.
Oh,
So SKBs.
SKB. Oh,
SKBs.
wow.
Although my middle one's the middle one, she carries my maiden name, but she said, no, I'm gonna keep your maiden name. That way I'm different, because if not, it's so confusing. SKB, SKB, SKB. Yeah.
Such a cute story. I would have thought, with Mayor Bissen having been an attorney for so long, he would have just like argued his way into your heart.
No,
you
no,
know,
no, no,
he would probably,
no, no, no,
talk
no,
his way.
in fact, that night after the pageant, and we went back after dancing at Tsunamis with our friends and such, and we went back to the room. He told his oldest sister, he told her, I found the woman of my dreams. I'm going to marry her.
Oh.
And I said, you gotta be kidding me. But here we are. Here we are.
Oh, that's
He knew better than I did.
He knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he took all the baby steps too.
And how long have you folks been married?
Oh gosh, we have been married now. Let's see, I want to say gonna be 20. This is really bad.
No, it's okay.
Put it this way, we got married in 96. So
Oh, okay. So yeah,
27.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My mental math is not that good.
Yeah,
I
but
went
that's
Baldwin.
okay. You cannot blame Baldwin because we both went to Baldwin. It's not Baldwin. It's what we choose is important. Obviously, it's not math, it's living life.
Yeah.
Long enough though. We've been
It's
together
so
long enough.
interesting because and another Baldwin graduate. So
Yes.
Moana Beamer. Keola was my guest on Yakamashii
Oh, I love
last
them.
year. And Moana, she sat in the audience. But I asked him the same thing, yeah, about how they met and all that. And it was very similar. He saw her, she was dancing hula. He said, oh, this is the woman, this for me, but it took him a while to convince her. So cute. But here they are, they've been together.
Yes. They are beautiful. I
Another,
love them.
yeah, beautiful relationship. As is yours. It's so obvious from the outside. What a wonderful relationship you and your husband.
We are blessed. We are blessed to have each other. We are blessed to have our families, to have our children and our grandchildren. And it's all thanks to the man up above.
Mhm.
We never know what life holds for us, but if we have faith and we believe and we have hope and we dream, dreams do come true. So that's my fairy tale.
It's coming true though, yeah. What dreams do you have insofar as what you can accomplish as First Lady? I know you have projects, pet projects, and certain issues that are very close to you.
What's most important for me is our youths or our babies, our children. And so with the collaboration of the state and the county and private sectors, we were able to open up our first West Maui Early Childhood Collective, made up of both state and county, being hosted currently at Princess Nahi Elementary School. So we opened up our first childcare services with the assistance of Kama'aina Kids and Maui Family Support Services. And eventually we'll bring on others such as Patch will come on board. And Patch was always there to try to support us at the beginning. We just didn't know how things were going to come about. So we're happy that they're there. And also Punana Leo Olahaina was able to open up this year. So we're really excited. Maui Family Support Services and Kama'aina Kids will provide infant toddler care. And then eventually we'll just start to level up and open up more facilities and services. So making sure that our babies are well cared for, right, throughout the county of Maui, that's very important, as well as our kupuna. But sometimes, we just think they're okay. not necessarily. Sometimes they need the fellowship and the know-how because the world has changed. Of course, some of them are pretty savvy. They're more savvy than I when it comes to technology, but you know, but just helping them to know how to navigate through different things and just being there, finding out what their needs are is important. So, especially for the West Side, um, making sure that we have a brick and mortar for them to gather. They miss that. I found that during this past weekend, um, you know, the, during the remembrance time, memorial time. Oh my gosh, they were so happy just to see a friendly face, to come back together, and like always, they were there early. They're the first ones to arrive. They make sure they get their seats, but just to see the happiness.
Yeah, the West Maui
And the
Senior
twinkling in
Center was thriving at the time of the fire. There were so many activities and a lot of kupuna were there almost
Yes.
daily. You know?
Yes,
And I know that that's something that's deeply missed, and hopefully be able to either rebuild or come up with another.
yes, yes. So those are like just my areas of interest that I would like to make sure that
One of the first things you did, though, was beautify the grounds at 200 High Street.
oh gosh, yeah.
So I just got to tell this story. He and I had the honor of being part of the cast of this play reading called Seven, and this was produced in conjunction with National Crime Victims Awareness Week. Seven is a play that tells the story of seven remarkable women, peace activists, advocates from around the world. Each of them was interviewed by a female journalist. Seven women interviewed by seven women, and then they collaborated and wove them all together. So it's not like seven chapters, right? Or seven acts. The stories of these women from Cambodia, Russia, US, all of Philippines were just woven in together. And so that's when we got to work together. We had only a few weeks of rehearsal, but we rehearsed at the old courthouse, you know. Well, we rehearsed at a bunch of places, but one day we were both there early, I think, and we were locked out, we couldn't get in. And so we're outside in front of the county building. He goes, look at this, you know, there's that plaque honoring Martin Luther King. He goes, look, get Perdue on top. So shame, you know, this is one of the things that we got to take care of right away. And then we were looking and all the chicken hookahs in the ground, and it really was. It was kind of a mess, yeah. But I remember
all the weeds
on Martin Luther
took
King's
over the roses. Couldn't see all the Sister City placards. Didn't know they existed.
The Sister City placards, the peaceful. And she tells me right then, we got to take care of this. And I think it was like 2 months later when I had to go to the county building for something, and I went, wow, she did it.
3 big truckloads later of hauling rocks by hand. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were there hands on, right?
Yes,
It's not like you just told your husband, okay, you got to get the maintenance guys to go down there and do this. I mean, you were there hands on.
Yes, because I asked, I said, who do I have to see? And Public Works said, well, it is a mayor's responsibility to take care of the front grounds. That's how it's always been. I said, okay. So I asked the mayor, he goes, well, I guess so. Next thing we know, I'm just taking basically took everything out, literally with the help of our OED staff when they were available, and some of the men on the 9th floor, but they would come after hours and they would stay there with me, or even on weekends. And at nighttime, just digging away, taking out weeds, removing things and pipes and everything and filling in, and then working with some of our collaborative farmers to get some of the ferns and kalo. And, we were, one of the things that the mayor is working towards is sustainability. So also wanted to incorporate some of that. And so we even had students from Yale School come to help us with planting. That's why there's a sweet potato and the mai'a and papaya, because they came and they helped us to clean and to plant that and to teach people that you can be sustainable even in that it is possible, and to beautify, because I wanted it to look beautiful for the people, for the person walking their dog at night or during the day, or the children going to school, people walking to work. It is a public area where people come to pay their bills or go up to the ninth floor to come and see the mayor or to go and see our council members. It is a reflection of us, we the people, and the people that work there. And so I wanted it to be a beautiful site for them, a peaceful thing. And also because for me, it is embarrassing if we don't malama and we take care of even the Martin Luther King plaque, the man who made such presidents throughout the entire world at a time when we needed a peace pole that represents so much to people around the world, that when they come to visit, they make sure they come to the peace pole and they take pictures with it. You're talking about like people from all parts of Asia, from around the world, they come to seek out the peace pole, because I learned that basically almost every area has a peace pole. It's a representation. It's a representation of the men and women who gave of themselves so we can have peace.
And it is a worldwide.
It's a worldwide effort, absolutely. And I wanted the view to be that of peacefulness, not one with weeds and all, all intertwined, because what we see visually as human beings, right, we tend to take on emotionally and all of that. So I wanted it to be a peaceful place for the people, a place where they could come together and working together with OED. That's why now we have some of our local vendors, they come and they bring their food trucks. So different food trucks come and people can partake along with our local eateries around Wailuku and stuff like that. But eventually having more public like have a movie day right in front of the county building, right off of the wall there, and just have people just come, and enjoy movie under the stars. Take a walk with us.
So nice.
And just bringing the community, letting them know that this is your county. This is your county building, that this is our place. It's not just for the mayor and the council people and the people that work there. It is all about the county of Maui.
Just like when you were a little girl and
Just
you
like
went to visit the mayor,
Yeah.
getting candy.
Yeah.
And so I'm way older than you. Didn't have the ninth floor county building at the time. Kalana Umaui wasn't built. So the old police station and all that was the county building. But I grew up on Church Street,
Okay.
and my cousin on Uluvehi Street. And the two of us would go ride our tricycles up to the old parking lot and the county building. And so for me, it was Mayor Eddie Tam, but we got candy from him too.
Oh yeah.
But it was the
Yeah.
same kind of thing. I thought, you're taking it right back to the feeling that, yeah, this county building is not just the seat of government. It's not only for bureaucrats or politicians. It is our
It's
our
ours.
building. Yeah,
Yes.
and it's representative of that.
Of us. Mhm. Yes.
Can you believe it's almost an hour already?
No.
I want to offer our guests, our audience, both here and online, the opportunity to ask questions.
Okay.
You okay with that? Does
Sure.
anybody here have any questions? Oh, look, you told them everything they need to know. Deidre, do we have any online from our Zoom participants?
Yes, but if I may, if no one else is, um, I would just love for you to talk a little bit about your trips with Sister Cities. I mean, you are very, very involved and very engaged with our Sister Cities. I know Val is the president of Sister Cities
Yes.
Foundation, and I think your commitment is so deep. Can you talk a little bit about Sister Cities and why it's important to you and why it's important to our community?
Sister Cities is important to me because of the relationships that we form. Those relationships are so profound. They go beyond the government. We learn so much from each other, and that's what I learned about Sister City. It's not just about being sister.
Yeah.
It is so much more than that. But we get to share about so many things, about art, about culture, most importantly, which is really huge, I think, around the world. And to be able to experience their culture and their language and see how the world, what that country is like, is just really amazing. I mean, from my first trip of going and meeting our Fukuyama mayor and the first lady of Fukuyama, and just the outpouring of respect and much gratitude that they have for Maui, for Hawaii, for the United States, and for the people. Just the exchanges that we have done, and it was just phenomenal. Whether in Japan, whether in Korea, or whether elsewhere in the United States, it is really amazing to see this exchange between the people. And I had the honor of going to Korea, and to represent the mayor and the county of Maui, to mahalo aku them for their generosity towards and for us. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is such a big responsibility, because it's not about me. I'm not going as myself, because behind me, even though you were all not there, were all of you. And so I had to make sure that I always brought my best self forward, because that was a representation of everyone back home. And even in Japan, when we went to thank Japan as well, Mayor and I, for their generosity, for their hospitality, for they sending their people over to help us as well. And it still continues today, whether they're from Norway or from Sweden, from Italy, from all over the world, they are here and they bring groups in to help, whether it's to plant an ulu tree, to make way, and so that, it's a safe place for people to travel. And we are learning so much from them, and we will start incorporating some of these things into our homes and the places that we live. And they take what we share with them into their homes as well, and into their communities. And so it's been a really nice exchange, and it's a lifetime of friendship. My father, my parents always said, let us not never break that bridge. Always keep that bridge open, because we never know, even though it may be years later. So when we went to Japan last year, it has been 30 years since I've been to Japan. I first went there in 1990. I lived in Osaka as a dancer, and I went there as an American ambassador, and lived there for about 9 months. But I got to reunite with a family that took me in years later.
30 years.
30 years later. 3 grandsons now, you know, and they were just so lovely as the first day I met them. I was 19 back then. I was 50, 53 when I met them. That's a long time. But yeah, so it's a lifetime of family and friendship.
The sister cities relationships,
Yes.
you know, as you say, it's beautiful because it does go both ways.
It
We're
does.
learning so much that we can employ, but all of the folks in our sister cities are learning, and I I am so grateful that you are so deeply involved because I can't think of a better representative of Maui County, Hawaii, and just pure aloha than
You know, I'm humbled and grateful, honestly. And also, you know, Sister City has taught me peace is important. That's one of the reasons we have our sister cities, is to continue to have that peace amongst all of us throughout the world. Peace, unity, you know. It is so much. It is so much, but most importantly, peace and unity. You know, aloha ke kahi e ke kahi, right?
you
Do unto others as you would have them do unto you as well. You know, just
welcome to
keeping that openness and respect, share, and giving
and not just with our sister cities or worldwide, but right here at home.
right here at home, right with the neighbor next door when the dog keep barking, barking, barking.
Yeah.
And then when you go out for a walk, you just give the dog a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if nothing, we're almost going over time, but is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to share?
You know, I just want to say that each and every one of us are so important, that each and every one of us are a beacon of light for ourselves and for one another. And as we light up each and every one, continue to light up, that light just continues to grow and grow and grow. And that light will continue to always have a place and to show someone their way home in case they ever forget where home is. And let us continue to be that beacon of light, not just for ourselves, but for someone else.
Oh, that is beautiful. Mahalo.
Aloha wau ia'oe, mahalo nui for this time and space.
You know, Maui has a history of being pretty fickle, yeah. We have a lot of one-term mayors. But I am very confident that your husband is going to serve out his 2 full terms. After that, there's nothing that says the first lady cannot run.
Oh gosh, you know, yeah. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Better not to
Keep
say
that
anything.
light burning. Mahalo nui for joining
you.
so much. Ka'ihi. Mahalo to all of our
Thank you,
guests.
everybody. Yes.
What a lovely
Thank
audience.
you.
They're so appropriate, yeah. Thank you to all of our viewers
Yes.
online, Facebook
Mahalo.
Live and Zoom. And as with all of our Yakamashii and all of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center events, today's program will be streamlined, yeah, edited. It shouldn't take very long, probably less than a week, and then you can view it every day if you like, forever, on our YouTube channel, the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, NVMC channel, the YouTube channel. Our next Yakamashii is mid-October, isn't it? I think it's October 16th or something. Oh, November. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, that's right. August, September, October, November. November 16th. Thank you. Yeah, October doesn't, especially since I'm not really positive who our guest is going to be yet.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I should just have you back. This
Oh,
was
no,
so
no, 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 no.
Thank you so
We
much.
must share,
for
sharing is caring.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so don't forget to sign up for the weekly Wednesday update, the emailed newsletter, and then you can find out about all of the events upcoming here at the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. Thank you so much to both Deidre
Yes.
and Melanie,
Mel.
yeah, for
Yes,
running such a wonderful. Don't you love
it
this
is.
place?
I love it. I love
Yeah.
coming to visit. I've been here for the first year tea ceremony. And then, you know, to be able to partake in some of the talk stories. And this year, one of my grandnieces, and I did say grand, because we have to remember I'm number 11. So this is her first year. She's here at the Concha Preschool,
Atlanta
which is pretty
Preschool.
exciting. Yeah, yeah. So, you know, Nisei has so much to offer. I've also been here actually as a volunteer when they've had the kupuna luncheons and such.
Oh,
So I've been here with the Shinyuen. And so we've come to volunteer for that, and it's really awesome to see, and even some of the plays and things that happen here. But Nisei has so much history and so much culture to share, and they want to share. And I love the recipes when we get
the
them.
weekly Wednesday update.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm yet to try the sweet potato mochi. Yes, yes.
Okay.
So do sign up if you haven't done so yet, because there's some great reads as well. They always tell you who's coming to present and what's happening. But you know, thank you to our Nisei, to our veterans. Mahalo nui. And thank you for making this place possible.
Aloha.
Oh.